friends, should we start again? Terrible internet connection today. Hope you're doing really well. Of course, it's Wednesday, 1 o'clock, so it's time to get crafting with Carly at home. As I was previously saying, tomorrow I'm doing an exclusive Facebook Live with crafting all the brands. So if you want to pop over there, come to see me tomorrow at 1 PM. So, what am I doing today? Well, we're going to be doing something a little bit different. If you join me for my... Hi, Susie. You're right, sweetheart. If you joined me on Monday for art journal, then you know that I was using paint over the top of cardstock and then using it as background paper or using it as a main focal point. So I'm going to be going over that again today, but doing something a bit different. So the first card I'm going to be creating is using the beautiful Imala stamp. It's People Will Stare, Make It Worth Their While. It's the one with the little legs, so I'll be doing that. It's a very hot day, isn't it? Hi Margaret. It is. I'm a bit... I know. Hi Jessica, hope you're doing really well. So the two cards that I'm going to be creating today, one is going to be made with acrylic paint as my background, and we will be doing inking and ombre, and this stencil is the Carley Duff, I believe it's the confetti stencil. Go and have a look, it's available at Create and Craft. The second one, and my second project that I'm going to be doing, is I'm going to be using texture paste. Now this is beautiful. This is the Sand by Stamps by Me, and I'm going to be showing you this right now. Hi Ty, I hope you're doing really well. Hope everyone's having a lovely day. Super warm today. Remember your sun cream, drink lots of water, keep on top of it. So let me turn you around and we can pretty much go over this technique. So if I just, there we go, get you in the right position. Cheap stencil. These are, I mean, the cheaper ones you get, they are more flimsy. So if you're going for a better quality one, they tend to be a lot thicker. Now this time I'm going to be using Stamps by Me acrylic paint. This is the pearl white, and I just want to show you, because obviously I'm going to have to allow it to dry. So what I've done is I've already pre-done mine. Now I'm just going to pick up some of this beautiful pearly white. Just make sure I'm in the right area. Now you can either use a stencil brush like this. So I'm just going to pop this on. Best thing to do as well is have a tub of water waiting at the side, so then you can always go back and pick that up if needed. So I'm just going to grab that wet brush, laden some ink on, just laden the paint on, absolutely beautiful, and then I'm just using a spatula to pull it across. Really, really simple. So that's the technique that we are doing. Always make sure as well that you don't leave your stencil on there while it dries to the paper, because otherwise you won't be able to get it off. So I'm just going to take this off and you'll be able to see already the kind of designs that you can get. So obviously I would have to leave that to dry before I start inking, but I have already prepared one. So this is the beautiful background, is the confetti one, which is a shameless plug for my own kit, but it is available at Create and Craft. Have a little look over there. I'm going to be using the tumbled glass, the bundled sage, a little bit of lilac, and a touch of spun sugar. So I'm just going to get my coordinating daubers to go with this. So there we go. We need a lilac and blue. So when you're thinking about doing either ombre or ink work, what you need to make sure that you've got the right colours and you've got the right tools to do the job. So the deepest colour always tends to go first. So my most rich colour, I would say, is the bundled sage. So I'm going to go in here. So I'm going to pick this up, and as you can see, I'm simply going straight over that beautiful work that we've done already. So really build up that colour. There we go. I'm going to go on to my tumbled glass. These are just my favourite ones that I tend to use at the moment. So you're picking up that colour and you're blending it through the previous colour. So you're actually going over the top of your line and then continuing it very simple. Okay, so now I'm just going to bring that a little bit more forward, just a little tad. Sorry about the shaking of the table. There we go. So now blue, I'm going to go into lilac. So pick your lilac up. Nice and smooth over the top. Now I've actually used two different types of ink, which is fine, but I'll just literally go through this with you. So oxide is different. It's a much thicker ink, much thicker. You can react it with water, exactly the same as the distress ink. But I'm going to go back over that middle line just to smooth them colours a bit more. Like so. Bring that blue. Really, really work them colours into each other. Like so. So now we're going on to the spun sugar, which is quite a delicate pink. It's not like worn lipstick or, you know, that sort of vibrant-y pink. It's quite a delicate pink. So I'm just going to pick that up. Again, put it right down past your previous colour. There we go. Right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a little bit of crayons. These are beautiful oil pastels. They're not crayons at all, they're pastels, Carly. And all I'm going to do is, especially like at the bottom here where I've got this green, I'm going to just add that along the bottom, and then I'm just going to blend it up a bit more. Can you see that? And what that will do is it will frame that piece at the bottom beautifully. Do exactly the same with the next colours. So I'm just adding a little tad of blue just on that edge, and then just pull it in. You could use your ink pads with this if you want, but I just like using lots of different mediums. So the purple, don't worry if you go over either, because you can always blend that out. So I've got that purple. So you just use the heat from your finger to apply the colour. Okay, and then we've got the pink at the top here. All the way round. Again, just using, oh dear, using that to frame that colour. Okay. Lovely. Right, so now that's my bit of background done, really simple. I'm just going to add this to a matte layer that I've already done and prepared very simply. Pink, black, blue, black, and then my rainbow ombre. Depending on how you want it as well, I prefer the green at the bottom. Don't ask me why. So now I'm just going to use my tape runner, adhere this to my card, central, lovely. So now I've got these little beauties to colour in. So let me just find a clean piece of card to work on. And I've got my leg. So this is the Imala stamp. Don't know if you've seen it, but it is one of our classic favourites. And I've also got the sentiment. So it says, people will stare, make it worth their while. So you can do different ways. You can either use paint, or you can use, for instance, I'm going straight on with my oil pastels. So I'm just adding a little bit of colour, and I'm going to go into that pink and just follow some of that shaded area down. So when these blend together, you will get much more. Let me just wipe my finger. There we go. So here we go. And obviously you can add tones in with that as well if you want, like so. So again, I'm just going to pull that colour, pull it round. It's super, super easy. Just make sure I've got enough of this colour on, there we go. And we'll just going to use our finger to blend the colours together. I've already cut mine out. It'd probably be more simpler if you did this before you cut it out, but obviously for time purposes I've pre-cut my, should I just see me cut something out? That's so boring. So you can get some really good shading on there with that, and I'll just, now a great way to add shading is grey. It's one of our key tools that we tend to use in the art world. So I'm just going to grab a piece of paper because I've just noticed that that's quite brown. So now I'm just going to take a little tad black just to add a bit of shading. See how it works, it just moves. It's very, very clever. So now I'm going to go into some blue. So I'm just going to bring this up, just working along the lines of the stamp already, and then I'm just going to add a little bit more colour in there. Beautiful. Again, using your fingers. You can get great definition and shading. Beautiful. And I'm thinking the bottom of the shoes, they may as well be pink. Right, so I'll just pop them to the side for a second, and then we're going to do a bit of ink work on these. So I'm going to go, I think I'll go into my green first of all, and I'm just going to circle around, just slightly off my sentiment, but just so those edges slightly pick up with that colour. Just a little. On the green again, just very subtly. We really don't want too much colour on. We still want the sentiment to be able to be bold and bright. That's why we leave the centre lighter, because then it draws your eye in a lot quicker. So we just go all the way around. Now to frame this, I'm just going to use my black just around the edge. This is my black oil pastel now, and I'm just going to pull it in a little. Just the heat of my finger will bring that colour in beautifully. These are the Hemi oil pastels. They are available at Create Craft, or you can go straight direct to Stamps by Me, either, up to you. So I'm just using that with my finger, nice and easy. So now I'm going to start constructing this first card together. So here we go. I've got some foam tape. Did I have a pair of scissors? Yeah, I have. Okay, hopefully you can see where I am with this. I'm going to take some foam tape and I'm going to lift those walking legs away from the cardstock using the 3D foam. Okay. This one will go this side. Perfect. So you take it right up to that edge. To that side. And again, we need a bit more foam. Now, I'm not going to use foam on all of these. But my first layer, I'm going to just use my tape runner. Which goes right edge to edge. Next layer, tad of foam. Final piece, I'm lifting it up and cascading it down. Now I'm also just going to use my Nouveau Vintage Opaque drops. This is in the green. And I'm just going to add a few little random So that's our first card. How are we doing? Are you loving using pastels? They're so much fun, aren't they? So there we go. That's our first project of the day. I will take photos, so don't worry, you can have a look at the close-ups later on. But you can see using them textures on the background, cutting the stamp down. Just go to Imala. It's I-M-A-L-A. Ink makes art like art. Go and have a look and you will see the most beautiful array of stamps that myself and Tony Tarek design and also share with everyone else. Right, let's have a look. We're moving on to our next one, aren't we? Hi Lisa Marie, hi Paul, hope you're all doing really well. Connor, what are you doing? Shouldn't you be working? Okay, so let's have a look. So exactly, or similar method as before, using that stencil over the top with 3D either acrylic. You can use Stamps by Me, you can use Cadence as well. I do love a bit of Cadence. But this that I've been using here, I've already pre-done because obviously I have to get it to dry before I can do the ink work on top. But this is texture paste. Now, two texture pastes that I absolutely adore are Cadence texture paste, comes in multiple different colours. Then of course you've got your sand texture paste that comes from Stamps by Me. So depending on what you're looking for really. So also what I've done is I've just taken a really simple 5x5 10-fold card, matte layers, one of pink, one of teal, and I've pre-stamped already and cut out this darling little tag stamp, which is actually from Tonic, so maybe pop along there and have a look as well. But let's start doing some ink work on this sand, and it is beautiful to work with. It really, really is. So I've got these textures all ready to go. Now, as you could see, I was using teal and pink before, so I'm going to come back in with the pink and probably a little bit of borrow with the blue, or actually I'll just go for evergreen. Evergreen. So let's just pick that up. Right, okay, so I'm going to take my spun sugar first of all, and I'm just going to go straight over the top of the texture paste. Now, to be honest, it doesn't really matter what colour texture paste you use, because if you're keeping it and you're inking over the top, it will absorb that beautiful ink already. But I just love the feel, that sand effect. Absolutely gorgeous. So all you need is like an hour for it to dry, but always make sure you take your stencil off. Don't leave your stencil on, because once the stencil dries on the card, then you're going to have to soak that stencil to get all of the paper or paint off. So I've just gone around, give it a light sort of dusting of the pink all over. Now, this is where I use a tip. Use a piece of scrap card, because what happens with this, your fingers, obviously it's quite hot today as well, your sweat will actually absorb the ink, so it's a good idea if you can to use a piece of card to lean on. So now I'm going into that beautiful evergreen bell, and I'll just put that on the edge, and then I'm just coming over just a little tad, not too much, and then sort of blend it out with the decoration. So again, just over the top, blend that colour away. Bring it out. Blend that colour away. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop this to a side a second, just work on my base card. Now for my base card, I'm going to be picking up a stencil. Let's have a look what we've got here. This one is beautiful. So you are always better to tape it down, because believe me, there's nothing worse than if your stencil moves and you've spent ages inking it. So just make sure that it's in the right position for you. There we go. Hopefully you can all see what I'm doing. There we go. And I'm going to pick up that green now again, go straight in there. Beautiful. Then I'm going to pick up that spun sugar again. See how we're merging the colours together. Go back to the green here. And to move it over. Don't worry, it doesn't have to be 100% aligned either. Don't panic about that. Green. See that bit, okay, so now I'm going to start layering up my card. So let's have a look. I think I'm going to bring it at a jaunty angle. Perfect. So I just use tape runner, take that down. So the green goes on pink. There we go. Oh, I can hear my children being noisy. I'm so sorry if you can hear them. So I'm just going to use a little bit of Galago tape now to stick this down. If you've not tried Galago tape, it's amazing. We sell it at Create and Craft. It is a key product. Have a look on YouTube. There's some great videos of myself and Jenny when we launched a product for the channel. Just want my scrap out of the way. Sorry about that, someone called me, so rude. There we go, let's come back down here. So using that texture paste now, I'm going to adhere that to my card, and then we are going to start colouring in this beauty. And again, I'm going to use my oil pastels. Even though it's a really hot day, and it's probably not the best medium to use on a hot day, but you know, let's go with it. So I'm just going to add this to the centre of my project. Then we can decide how or where we are going to put this beauty. So let me get my scrap again, and we can start doing some work. Right, so I've taken my green, absolute gorgeous, and I'm just going to add flits of green here and there on this project. So maybe go lighter towards the edges, like so, and a little bit dark in there as well. Okay, so again, now if you don't want to use your finger, you can use a tool or a brush. This will work equally as well. Let me get a nice chisel brush. I don't think this one's, oh yeah, it will go. Just got to work it a bit more than when you use your finger. But I just like using my finger. Just that sort of hands-on crafter. But obviously with your finger, when you're blending the oil pastels, you have to remember to wipe your finger, because otherwise you're going to get multiple colours when you rotate round. So now I'm just adding that little bit of green colour, you can see there. Then we can go on to the pink. So with any of these sort of stamps, you can see where the colouring goes because they give you shading markings. So follow that. That's the best way to do it. Just follow those markings, like so. Now this time I'm going to take, no, can't find it. So we're just going to go straight in with that colour. Hello Lottie. Hello. My little Lottie's here, bless her. So I'm just going around and around, building up that colour. So once you've got a base colour on, you can go back in and do more detail if required. So for instance, I could add a bit more dark in there, a bit more dark down that side. Lovely. I'm going to add a little bit of red to the middle, just slightly. And I'm going to work in circles. Can you see that, how you can just build up that colour? Lovely. I'm going to add a bit more pink on here. Now, on here, what I'm doing is I'm just making a bit of a niche, which is basically just all these different things mixed together. Get that colour on your finger and then just blend it out. And that's how you can get that beautiful vintage effect. I'm just going to add a little bit of red here. So I'm going to go back in with my black. You can see I'm just a few little areas, plus that little bit shading. Okay, a little bit at the bottom. So now what I'm going to do as well is I'm going to go around the edge with my black oil pastel. Now if you are wanting any sort of chalk pastel, anything like that, to be permanent and fix and not smudge, the key is spray it with hairspray, really. Sounds crazy, but it works a treat. It just stops you getting that dusty every time you move it. You get your layers come off. So we're just pulling that colour round. Blending over the top of the ink work, like so. And I'm thinking that'll go that way, and I've got some pretty little sentiments over here. Let's have a look what I got. Right, okay. Happy together. Lovely. These are the Tim Holtz sentiments, and then I'm just going to add that with a piece of foam as well. Just like so. There we go. Right. Oh yeah, you're right. There we go then. How do you like that? Pretty, isn't it? It's soft, it's gentle, it's vintage. There's so much more that you can do with this. Hello, I hope everyone's doing really well. Sorry, it's a bit warm, isn't it, today? Right, so the two cards I've made today are the beautiful Imala stamp. People will stare, make it worth their while, with that gorgeous ombre background with the also the stenciling with the acrylic paint underneath. And then there's the second one I've done with stencils, and this is sand texture paste at the back there as well. And obviously all the colour artwork I've done is using the beautiful Himi oil pastels. Right, thank you for joining me on this very warm Wednesday afternoon. Like I said, tomorrow I will be doing a Facebook Live for the group Crafting All the Brands, so come and have a look at me over there at 1, and then Friday I will be back here crafting. Also, got any suggestions for Art Journal Monday colour themes? Let me know, friends, because I will be posting it tomorrow. Take care, have a wonderful day, take care of yourself and each other, and I will speak to you soon. Take care, bye.